the reason why I started it. Because we need each other. We need our networks, we need our business networks, and we have to behave better in order for those things to be healthy and functional and successful. So there you have it.
Amen. I have to tell you guys something. So the first 15 minutes of the show didn't exactly record. So we picked it up in the middle of what Shay was saying. And so for my audience
Nice.
yeah, that's okay. Don't worry, we're gonna be able to circle back around. I ain't too worried about it. Uh, you
Okay,
were
well,
talking about,
I've rehearsed all of my stuff.
I understand. So now, in your role as a mediator, and now let's kind of transition
Uh-huh.
that because I think that some of the same principles at least would be applicable when talking about interpersonal relationships. One of the things that you said that struck out to me was that usually in a situation, there is a point where both parties can kind of come to and agree. Oftentimes in our
Yes,
relationships, we don't
definitely.
uh, earnestly look for that point of uh, of consensus, or we give up before we can even get to that point of consensus. I'm talking about we give up on the relationship or what have you. I'm going to go around the room now, and we're going to come back to you, Shay, and because I think you have a very interesting
Okay.
perspective. Now, Chef and I have talked before, and so this is a question to Bridget and Plum Queen. Have you guys ever been in other relationships with disabled people? That's the first question. Start with you, Queen.
No,
No.
I've only had three real relationships in my life.
Okay. Are you currently? I think you are currently in a relationship, but I want to ask: are you currently in a relationship?
Yes, I am.
And how long have you been in that relationship?
September will be 14 years.
September will be 14 years. Amen. Okay, Bridget. How about yourself? Have you been in a relationship with another disabled person of any type of disability?
No, I haven't. I cannot say that I have.
Okay. Are you currently in a relationship?
No, I'm not.
Okay. And so do you consider yourself dating, or are
No,
you just kind of
I don't consider myself dating. It's been a journey, a healing process with my leg. So I focus on myself. Other people don't tend to understand. They may feel that you're being selfish or you may not want to spend your time with them, but it's just you have other health issues and other people don't tend to understand that.
Mhm.
So I don't focus on dating at all.
Oh, do you reject men approaching you or women approaching you?
No, I don't. I just never have. I don't take it further than that. I just leave it as a like lay the line that we're friends. It's not going to be more than that because I still have too much stuff in my daily life to I guess you can say focus on a relationship.
I hear you. And you have two children.
Exactly. Two children with a healing leg is not enough time for a spouse to feel special.
And you're a single mother. Yeah, I dig it.
Yes.
Uh, I'll let Chef now answer, even though I know the answer, but I want everybody to hear it.
Okay.
Have you been in a
Um,
relationship with a disabled person?
Not that I know of. Physically, no. Mentally, probably. um, and no. Same with Miss Bridget. I don't think I have the time. I don't like to find the time for men. I get approached a lot, but I'm busy trying to build a career and change lives. So I don't think dating is in the cards at this moment. But I would love to have a family in the future. Yes.
Okay. All right. And I am in my third marriage. I think I might be on the tail end of my third marriage. I've been married for 16 years now. And this is my longest marriage. And I have one child, a 9-year-old son.
Okay.
And I was married for, 10 years or whatever before my amputation ever happened. And it's very interesting. Okay, so I'm going to start with me and then see where it branches out to. So, like for me and my wife, I remember when I got my leg off and I was laying in the hospital that morning. And I told my wife, I said, listen, woman, you didn't sign up to be with no half a man, no man with no one leg. You didn't sign up for that. So if this is something that you're not going to be able to deal with, sister, I love you. I love my child. I understand. It's okay. And you would have my blessing to go and go and live your life. She stood there beside the bed, holding my hand. No, we're married and I love you and I'm not going anywhere. Good. Moving on. So now we come down to this point. So now we're 4 years down the road here now. And my wife says that my personality changed to some degree after my amputation. Now, initially, the sex is great. That was never an issue for us in our marriage, even after amputation. And in fact, I think we got freakier a little bit after amputation. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, if you got it, use it. Chef know my philosophy. If you got it, stick it somewhere. Anyway, the issues that bring my wife and I to this point in our marriage may be related to, no, I'm not going to say that. I think that'd be disingenuous. I will allow a certain amount of the communication that my wife and I, the issues in communication that my wife and I are currently experiencing must be due in some degree to my amputation. I would certainly understand and agree with that. To what degree? I don't think it's that much, really. No, I don't think that's really it. If anything, what I may have, now I was a pretty wild boy, okay? I was a pretty wild boy. And after but getting married, I really settled down. I was very selfish. I was very, in my other two relationships, in all relationships, I'm gonna be honest with you, in all my relationships with women in the past, I was very, I'm a romantic. I am a romantic. So I'll be heavy, but really I've got my own shit I got to do here now. So I'm gonna be real into you really a lot, what they call that over loving almost, because I love the beginnings of romance.
Love bombing.
Yeah, the love bomb. Yes. Yeah. So I'm susceptible to that as an Aries male because I do everything to the most. But then I'm always focused on what I got to get done. And I think that what my wife and I have been talking about is that since my amputation, my focus has definitely shifted. I've become much more intense about achieving certain career and professional goals and aspirations. And it's okay. I told my wife, I said, baby, it's okay. I love you. And whatever we have to do, the most important thing to me is the positive nurturing of our son. It's important to me that my son knows that his mother and father love him, that we are committed to his positive development, and that in the course of life, sometimes people must separate in order to get themselves together and to get life together. Now, I would prefer we be together as a family unit and amble our way through, but that doesn't work for everyone. And I have to be conscious of that, empathetic to that. And as she is my wife, provide her with the tools to do that. Okay. And so I didn't think I'd find myself necessarily in this situation. I was talking with another girlfriend of mine, and she was saying, man, every time I see you and Lady A, Mr. Q, you guys look like royalty to me. Your wife's so tall and beautiful, and you the man that you are. And I can't imagine you guys not being together, because usually people would see us together. And I says, well, we're always going to be together for my boy. And I love my wife enough, and I don't usually use that word love, but for the sake of this dialogue, I love my wife enough, because that is what we use in Western society to communicate intense emotional commitment.
Mhm.
Okay. But I love my wife enough that it's okay if we ain't together. That's okay. And I got to find peace in that in me. I don't know if that's what's going to happen. We don't know. All right. But what I am committed to is my happiness and expressing my understanding that God loves me. With or without you, honey. That's just the way it is. So that's why, Chef, I've been talking about, oh man, I might be dating soon. My wife and I are talking about it too. Because it says, now what? You're going to be a 50-year-old black woman, ain't worked in 13 years, into the world again. That's your choice. I will do all that I can to nurture your development in that effort, to a degree and to a line. Everybody got, lines now. So to a degree and to a line. But I'm wondering, what in the hell am I going to do dating at my age? It's going to be really weird. And I got a son to raise. That's my main priority. And I have businesses to run, But I like women. And I'm a sexual creature. So it gonna happen. It's just a matter of who and when. I'm wondering what that's gonna be like. And I can't wait to experience it. I'm looking forward to it. If that is what's down my path. I am not yet ready to have sex or something with anyone. No, I wouldn't do that. And my wife and I trust in our relationship enough to where we always have had the promise, we don't have sex with nobody else unless our mates know. That's just the way it is. It's just honest, That's just the way we are. I will and we have talked about it. We maintain that trust and honesty with one another until powers that are beyond us say that you are no longer married and husband and wife. In the meanwhile, I'm going to tell any woman that I meet that I might fancy, hey, I'm married, letting you know this is where I'm at. And I'm not going to lie to people. I'm too old for that kind of shit. So I am curious as to what the hell's going to happen. Chef, I went on that Tinder, girl. Lord, sister, I ain't messing with them women. No, they ain't my kind of gal.
You really went on that site?
Huh?
I don't suggest Tinder.
You really
Okay,
went on?
I went there
I don't
last
suggest
night.
Tinder. I do suggest.
Tinder is a no.
No, I suggest
Tinder is a no.
I suggest places like fan-based audio rooms. A lot of audio rooms, even Facebook has audio rooms. The reason why I suggest audio rooms in opposed to a profile, because the conversation allows people to stand out to you, and you can connect with people think like you or tend to. So I like groups more so. I'm on fan base. I've met a lot of people. I'm married and everything, but in terms of connecting with business partners and things of that nature, and I've found that people actually find it easier to get to know people, because with Tinder, you got scammers on there. You have all types of mentally ill people. This way,
that's what I thought.
You can listen to what the person has to say. You is on in these audio groups, you relationships with being in a relationship with. So I've met some very interesting, intellectual, like-minded people, and what happens is that you can inbox them anytime you want. You can say, I really like what you said, and you might get somebody inboxing you. And
what site is that on? Where do you find that room?
There's Clubhouse, which is getting kind of saturated.
Clubhouse, yeah.
But
I'm on there,
fan base is black owned, and fan base has the audio rooms.
I know the fella that owned that. I know that fella. Yeah, I know that guy. A buddy of mine. Fan base, yeah.
Isaac Hayes' son, Isaac Hayes III.
Right, there you go. It's his son.
Yeah,
that's
so
right.
He owns that. But
okay.
What he did was he saw that there was a lot of positive. He saw the interaction and how powerful audio rooms are. So he created his own social media where you can do Instagram style, you could do Facebook style, and you could do a Clubhouse style. But audio rooms are excellent. That way you can
All right,
get
I'm
to
gonna do
know
that.
people. I have made so many, because with Facebook they shadow ban you, right? And also there's a lot of what do you call it, with Facebook jail stuff going on and all that nonsense. So I really personally,
Oh yeah, if you say the
only
wrong
reason
thing,
why I'm still on, the only reason why I'm still on Facebook, bring people over the fan base,
Over the fan base,
or whatever.
I hear
So,
you.
but
I dig it. I dig it.
I made some
You the third time I done heard fan base today, sister.
Oh yeah,
You're the
you
third
need to get on here. You need to support.
I will. I will
Thing
do
is
it
that I
tonight.
made $7 because on fan base, whenever you post content, you get paid for it, and that's what his whole purpose was. Because Facebook made a lot of money off of us, right? So he said, why not put the money in the pockets of the people that are actually doing the work?
We're generating.
So
right.
I believe that's an excellent place to start. I personally suggest to leave the Plenty of Fish alone, leave all of that alone, and you get to know people and how they think. And then you'll see, and you get involved in these conversations with people, and eventually people will gravitate to each other. You know, and when you get in the singles, they have the singles. They have singles nights also on fan base. So if you find which audio room is doing I'm getting feedback, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I've been getting feedback.
When you go to fan base, you can create a audio room as well.
Is that better? No, it might be me. Hold on. I'm trying to see where it's coming from. Let me check my mic.
Hello?
It's not my mic, I don't think. Say something.
Okay.
Everyone just say
Maybe it's-
hello. Okay, I think we're all right.
Hey.
Hello?
Okay. I think we're all right.
Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, I think that
So you say stay away from the
even
Tinder.
if you made a group on, yeah, I don't suggest it.
Maybe I
I've
will
had some
make a
very
group.
bad
That might be a
stories.
good
I could do
idea. I'm gonna see if there are any amputee groups on
Yes,
there, and
I
if there
think- I
aren't,
think
there will be by midnight.
I can contest Plenty of Fish and Tinder.
Yes, especially
You don't like
especially
them?
on fan base. It's a brand new app. Huh?
Plenty of Fish and Tinder are absolute no's.
Well, you haven't dated in a long time, Plump. So
Oh,
I'm gonna save you.
I don't.
Yeah, I'm gonna save you for later.
I might not have dated
That's
in a
not a
while,
truth.
but I'm
That's-
still. Yeah, it's not. I still around.
even
I
fair.
network. I hang around people, and when you get to my story, I'll tell you about it.
Oh! I hope. I was about to ask you if you're poly, but you saved the answer
Yeah.
because I know you were raised poly. So maybe okay, but we don't say that.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
Jeff, tell me. No, Bridget. No,
Yes.
no, Bridget. No, not Bridget. Not Bridget. Let's
Okay.
go to Chef. Chef, tell me now. Chef knows is aware of my perspectives as far as getting into a new relationship and how it's going to be something. I'm thinking about things that I never really had to think about before when I start to think about it, because I'll just give this quick example and then Chef, I'm going to let you roll. When I was growing up and in college, right, and I was with a girl, I was aware of like dating no's, do's, and don'ts. And I became aware that a woman, anytime she goes out with a man on a date, she's taking her life in her hands because she don't know that motherfucker crazy or whatever, what. So because I was a big man, I always made sure that I had permission. Man, I'm talking about, they gonna tell you, and I was a wild boy, but any woman will tell you, I'm gonna ask, can I touch your hand, darling? Can I hold your hand? I want to kiss you now. That's just the way I am. I know when I got into the city in Los Angeles, is when I would meet women that would say, you don't have to ask that, you just do it. And I'm like, I ain't want nobody saying I done nothing that you didn't want. So I always like to confirm shit before I move on. And even if I start dating now, I'm gonna be the same way, probably more so. I might have to have somebody sign something. Shit, let me know. Everybody know I'm going into this willingly. I ain't drugged. This man ain't forced me to do shit. But at any rate, I'm now thinking, I wouldn't be with no woman unless I had me a weapon beside me. That woman might try to kill me. I ain't got my leg on. I know. Y'all think I'm crazy for thinking that? Is that just Mr. Q being old? Go ahead, Chef.
No, I remember we had this conversation before, but no,
Yeah.
like I think that's okay to think and to be that way. As a woman, I should always think that way, and I don't, and
I
that
agree.
scares me personally. That scares me. Like, why aren't you thinking about protecting yourself, especially because you have one leg?
Right.
But then again, remember I was telling you, like, I'm not gonna be with someone I don't trust or feel comfortable with in the first place. So
Yes.
that's
Right,
I think that's the reason why I don't think that way. But
Yes, ma'am.
I think that is wise for people to protect themselves, especially in our condition. That shit is scary. And yeah,
Right. Because I don't know
I agree with you when it comes to that situation.
if there are precautions. I couldn't imagine it otherwise. But even if I'm a two-legged woman, I would think that, if I'm going to have a fella over to my house or something, I know where my shit at, yo. Maybe that's just my man brain and I can't overcome it. I don't know. But I suggest to women, 2 legs, 1 leg, whatever the hell you got, man, don't have no stranger in your house. Don't have no stranger in your house, man. Unless you know them. I just think you got to be really careful. I don't know, man. When I was younger, man, hey, man, I partied with the fucking best of them, bro. So I know about it. But I ain't never done nothing I'm ashamed of.
You know what I noticed about that whole thing? I honestly that we go too fast. We want to jump the bones immediately.
I
We're
think
trying
so.
to get all the way to the bedroom. And I honestly believe that that's where the danger lies. You have to take your time. I know that I've been in there, and trust me, what I've noticed is the ones that try to rush you to meet you and take you out and be in your space, 9 times out of 10, they only have one thing. They only want one thing. But when they get to know you mentally, if they take their time and say, listen, let's have this conversation. Whenever you want to take this to get a cup of coffee or you want to go do a daytime thing, let's take it slow. 9 times out of 10, that might be a little bit more successful because they're trying to be your friend. They're trying to make sure you're not crazy either. So that means that they have something that they need to protect as well.
Right.
So I think that what we need to do is we need to self-pleasure until we get ready to meet that person to be happy. Because what we do, we be so horny, our brains send us all the way to a dangerous situation where we wonder why we getting robbed or whatever the case is, and we need to slow down. I have a friend like that, and she be like, well, I got needs. It's dangerous. You bringing them to your house.
It's not,
you know what
serious.
I mean? And the thing is that by the grace of God, she's been patient, but you're looking at this beautiful picture of a man. I met a very attractive dude on picture, and when he was at least 25, older, balding and everything.
You know 25 years
so
older.
You gotta be careful these pictures.
I know.
Yes. No, he portrayed as 30 and he had to been at least 60 something.
Lord.
Easy. Yeah, I was looking for
Queen, tell us your story. Tell us what you want to say. Queen, tell us what you want to say. Get into where you are, where you've been with all this.
Well, I have a very eclectic perspective on relationships because, like I said, I grew up in a polygamous home. So I got the child's perspective from it. And I've also seen polygamous relationships that worked. And I've only been in 3 major relationships in my life. And all of those was based off of my insecurities. And, you know what I'm saying? And the men, seeing that and me wanting love and all of that good stuff. So me personally, Like Ms. Shay said, we sex is too important. We make that we that's too much of a percentage in a relationship when that is actually the most minute part. The only
Right.
honestly amazing thing about sex is honestly giving birth to children. The fact that you have the power to do that. But your relationship is much more than that. It's a connect. It's actually a connection. If you're not truly connected to a person, you're just having mindless. You're giving out your life force. You know what I'm saying? It's just a waste. And this is why we're not in good relationships because it's based off a physical thing instead of an emotional and a mental. You know, like how men are with your friends. You got that whole bro code thing. You love your friends. Men will take a bid. Will go to jail. You know what I'm saying, for their homeboys, at least, you know what I'm saying, in our communities when you're talking about the hood and all of that. That is the actual connection. Now, they not having sex, they're not doing nothing extra, but they have a genuine, you funny, you right, Chef, in 2022, you don't know these days. Yeah.
That's true.
For argument's sake, I'm talking about like you're talking about gangs and things of that nature, that loyalty, that love that they have for each other, you know, they'll
Correct.
sacrifice and all of that jazz. That is a true connection. Has nothing to do with sex, you know what I'm saying, or nothing intimate in that light. If they treated their women that way, our households, you know what I'm saying, will be a whole lot better. It's about respect. And this is taught behavior. We are taught these things. Men are taught that they can sleep with as many women as they want. You're supposed to sow your royal oats and get it all out there. And then they teach us you have to be chastity and, you know, just pick one man and, you know, and stick with that one. Once you fire them, stick with that one forever. And it's a contradiction. You got boys doing one thing, you got girls doing another, but y'all expecting them to come into a union. And that doesn't make sense.
Well, I can safely say and honestly say that I liked having girlfriends, and I told you guys how I was a fat guy growing up and all. And I liked having pretty girlfriends. I did like pretty girls. What are called pretty. Let me say that. There you go. And it was important to me as a man or as a male to have a nice girlfriend and usually have a couple of them. Now, that's even pre-sexual. I'm talking about a real sexual life. I'm talking about when you're a teenager. Now, I know there are a lot of teenagers that are banging their asses off. I hear that. I understand that. I just wasn't that kind of a kid, okay? But in college, okay. For me, having being with the women that I experienced in college and young adulthood, you know, you kind of get into the world as a male and you say, man, look at all these fucking hot women around. And then when you learn that some of them want to have sex with you, you start doing it. Now, I did come to see that was a weakness that I was expressing. Now, I didn't see it until I was 30, 31 maybe. Okay. After my first marriage, I was standing in a bar and I was in a band. And I was with all these, I was the lead singer of a band, and it was a rock band. And I was in the bar in Hollywood, and all these white gals around me. We had gotten off the road. We had just done the gig. I'm standing at the bar, and I'm looking at all these chicks, man, knowing I could go to bed with one of these women if I want. And I said, you know what? I feel like my energy, I could feel them pulling my energy out of me. Okay. And I said, Lord, I have slept with my last white woman. I'm not going to sleep with another white woman in my life. And I told my band this, and they said, what do you mean? You know, Q, what do you mean? And I says, yeah, I think I ain't going to bang no white chicks for a while. And I ain't banged one since. Because it was taking my energy. And I says, you know what? I want to give my love and devotion to a black woman.
Interesting.
And that's when I only dated black women from that day on. Now I'd always dated black women, throughout my life and stuff. But I did find myself when I was in that band banging a lot of non-sisters, and I ain't like that, so I changed that.
Well, that's a whole nother thing.
Podcast. That's a whole nother podcast.
That's a whole nother podcast. But for me,
what I'm saying is about men are raised to associate certain amounts of self-esteem with the amount of sex that they have with different women.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's just the reality of it. I didn't say that there's any truth in it, but that is a reality that we're continuing with.
Well, that's human nature. Anything that you are trained to do, that's what you're going to do, and it's the norm. Like, boys will be boys. Etymology is a big thing as well. The things that we tell ourselves, that we hear, over and over again, the things that we see, like for me, when I comes down to relationships, I feel like everyone is a free spirit. We don't come to this world to get into relationships. We're here to relate to everyone, to relate to people, but that's not our purpose. So like I'm in a 13-year, almost 14-year relationship, and him and I probably will never get legally married. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I've seen divorces. I've seen people who are in marriages that are extremely unhappy. You know what I'm saying? And not to say the concept of marriage, I definitely agree with. I feel like you should be connected and committed to an individual as you so choose. And if you're going to do that, you should do that respectfully. And if you and both parties, only want each other and y'all can do that, then that's cool. But I also understand that things happen. And especially like now, like I lost my arm. I was with somebody when I lost my arm. We were together for a year. We were talking marriage. But because I lost my arm, he was now, thinking about himself. He had no structure. We didn't have any jobs at the time. We had a financial issue. That's a space that we were in. And then losing my arm was too much for him. And he went back his instincts to either sell drugs or to deal with a woman until he can get on his feet. He chose to deal with the woman to get on his feet, got married and had a kid. See what I'm saying? Right. So most people felt like I was supposed to be upset about that and overly, mad. And I wasn't, because I had to focus on this. You know what I'm saying? And now 15 years later, I'm awesome and he got a lot of things going on right now. Things happen. And it doesn't mean that he didn't. I'm sure he loved me.
That's how it works.
He loved me. And then to be quite honest, I think he still loves me. But the fact of the matter is, like you were saying before, you told your wife, he didn't sign up for that. He wasn't, for whatever reason, able.
And that doesn't make him bad or nothing.
No,
that
it's not.
Make him bad.
Not at all. Not at all.
No, it's just
I would actually like to be cool with him, but he has the mindset that he either wants me the way we used to be or he can't be around me, kind of thing. That's the type of headspace he's in.
I understand that. Yeah, some people can't get over that. Intimacy now. Let's kind of move. That was kind of like dating. Now let's talk about intimacy. I don't know what the hell to talk about. I say, like,
how do you define it? How do you define it?
When I'm thinking intimacy, I'm thinking about, I am thinking only about physical intimacy. I'm not nearly thinking about the emotional intimacy that must be established. No, let me not say that because that's not true. Let me preface this by saying this, okay? I was talking with my wife the other day, and we were talking, and I says, "Oh yeah, honey." I says, if we weren't together, and there comes a time when I want to have sex with someone else, I probably just wind up paying for it rather than going and meet a woman and trying to date somebody and all that. Why? Well, I see you frowning. Well, that's the way I look at it. Sex is just a physical act for some, okay? I am much more of an emotional person. I like to have unfortunately, much of my early romanticism was influenced by Woody Allen movies and William Wordsworth poetry. So I'm from that old school shit, where I like love and romance and the idea that you can meet a soulmate and that life is gonna have ups and downs. But one of the greatest gifts that we have is the opportunity to relate intimately with one another, to share our deepest selves with the right people. And in my case, as a heterosexual man, when I engage that way with a woman, yes, typically it is wound up with me being intimate, with us being intimate. Only a few women would I say, oh, that's my friend that I would never have sex with. I only feel that way about a few people. And that was years. That took me a long time to get to. For a long time, I didn't really believe in men and women being friends. I didn't know what that was. Okay? One of my dearest friends, Naila, I love her. I love her. I adore her. She's a wonderful woman, but would never have sex with her. She's a beautiful woman too. I know I know a lot of guys think she's really beautiful. I just don't look at her that way. We're like brother and sister, you know? And as with my wife, you know, I'm so close. We're so close and we've been together for so long. It's really difficult for both of us to even imagine it. And we just, you know, we're holding hands just this morning. And we're saying, it'll be all right. And I'm here for you to help in any way I can to figure this shit out, man. Because I just sense that I'm entering a situation that we as a family are entering a situation that's going to be very interesting in a period of wonderful growth and opportunity. And so, you know, it's kind of wild, the idea of establishing an emotional connection like that to another person. That's what intimacy is for me. That's going to be a very interesting journey for me.
Mm-hmm.
If that's how you feel, why would you want to have relations with someone that you have to pay for sex with? Like,
oh, because sex is it would just be a release of sexual energy. It would be an experience. It's an experience. And I would go into it knowing this is what I am getting. There's no ambivalence. There's no misinterpretation. It's to the point and to the fact. But maybe that's a guy thing or something.
I think that's part of the problem.
It's practical. It's just practical. It makes sense. Go to a professional for a service.
I wouldn't pay for it.
Sex is not, that's not what sex is though. And this is just my, you know, my
I hear you.
Sex is way more than just something that you do to release. Like for me, it's a spiritual ritual, to bring forth life. Like that's not something like if you think about the animal kingdom, they have a mating season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, other species just don't go around willy nilly having sex all year.
Only a few species have sex for pleasure.
Right, because it's like I said, you drain yourself. That is the closest you are to an individual. Like a man is literally.
I agree.
You're exchanging DNA. You know, you're exchanging energy and emotion. Like a woman, if she sleeps with a lot of men and allows them to, to come in them, all that DNA and stuff mixes inside of her and stuff like that. That shit is real deep. So the fact that we just think of sex as just some straight to the point and just this thing that's part of the problem. Intimacy, you know what I'm saying, is an emotional thing. And honestly, you shouldn't be having the physical act if you don't have the emotional fact to it. This is how people get hurt. This is how you have generational curses and people, breathe that into their children and take that with them into their other relationships. Like if me and my man were to break up, I would have to literally detox. I could not deal with another man because I still have his energy all over and inside of me because we've been dealing with each other for so long.
Right.
So I will bring. That's why a lot of relationships keep failing because you're bringing that baggage, and we think it's just problems, but it's also energy that you're bringing into a situation, and you're passing that along. So I think we need to change that whole. It's just the wham bam thinking, man. Yes, most men think that way, but we need to change that because that's where these problems are coming from.
Where do you stand on all this, Bridget?
As far as sex, sometimes I feel in my own relationships, I felt it was more of a chore. Like, I don't know. I just don't really, that's not one of my top priorities in being in a relationship or even not being in a relationship. It just doesn't move me. I'm not, it doesn't.
Now that's interesting choice of words. Chore. Why do
Yeah.
you say that?
Because I felt like at the time I still had both of my legs. So I worked full time. And then I still had my small children to raise, which as a single mom. So I didn't do the whole, well, I'm going to work, come home, we go out to eat and we spend money. No, it's nothing like that. So it's still come home, cook for your kids, make sure they had something to eat, make sure they did their homework, make sure they've taken showers. While all that's going on, you're cleaning the kitchen, you're picking up whatever you weren't able to in the morning before you left to work. So at the end of the day, depending on how your spouse is, they may feel like a lot of men do that they've been to work their 8, 10, 12 hours. And when they come home, they clocked out of everything. They take a shower, they're waiting for dinner, whatever is again my experiences. So I would feel that I would do all of this while you came home the same hours I did, but now you're resting. I'm doing this, this, and that. And at the end of the day, you're like, hey, babe, are you ready for? No, I'm not ready. I'm ready to take a shower and go right the fuck to bed. That's what I'm ready for. So then that starts to cause problems with the I don't think you love me the way I love
Communication.
you.
Right.
I don't
Right.
think that you, it's not that at all. It's just that sex is not at the top of the list. So, and it may be at the top of your list. So therefore we
Right.
can make this work.
That's
So
why we have to.
being alone. I know that for a fact. I am better off being alone.
Now that's when we kind of look at what Sister Shay was saying earlier about finding that middle ground. I think because that's I think a valid thing, and that could be something that a lot of limb loss people deal with in their relationship. Maybe their partner's sexual thing is just as vibrant, maybe, you know, as it was or whatever, and the amputee person's maybe drains off, or maybe it's vice versa. I know for me, I think I was a little vice versa. I couldn't wait to get back in the saddle and see how this new body of mine worked. That's just the way we are. My wife and that's the way we are, man. You know, we were looking like in the hospital. Okay, doc, how long? No, you can, you know, as soon as your legs heal, you can rock and roll, man. We're ready to roll, Betty. Let's roll. Can you close those curtains? But we're really, you know, attracted to one another in that way. You know, for many years, we were just really into each other that way. And I don't know, man. You know, I've heard about them people, and Queen was talking about it earlier, last show. If your spouse leaves you because they say it's because of your amputation, it's not the amputation, guys. It's not the amputation. There's something else that's going on. There are other intimacy issues that are not being talked out, I think, and communicated. Can anyone back me up on that? Or
Yeah, or they were using you, or that, you know, it could be a lot of reasons.
I agree.
It could have been for the wrong reason, and now that put a monkey wrench in their plan. Now they have, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people get with folks because they want to, you know, be taken care of and they want stability. And now that you have to actually put in some work, now it's a problem, and now you want to dip off. That was kind of my situation. My boyfriend, he left me after my arm because he couldn't, you know what I'm saying? That's not what he signed up for. He wasn't. He wasn't.
Right, I understand. Yeah.
I try to tell people all the time to look at it that way. We look at ourselves all the time. We think that failures or things that end, it means that you did something wrong or it's bad. But, you know, life is nothing but a cycles of beginnings and endings.
Amen.
And I believe that your universe, God, or whoever it is that you pray to, you know what I'm saying, works in your favor. We make choices in life, but not every choice that we make is the right one. So if we get into something and it ends, for me, that's a clear sign that that wasn't for me. I thank my ancestors and I keep it moving instead of being overly upset and attached to
Right.
what I want.
Well,
What we want and what we need.
I don't come to, or I, instead of saying that wasn't for me, what I understand is that a new beginning is happening and that it was for me for that time.
Facts.
And like TD Jakes say, life's about them seasons. And it's okay that some people's season is only long enough to produce a child that is a gift to the world. That's okay.
That is okay.
It's about what you're going to do with that season. Did you learn from it? Did you plant seeds in your own self that are now about to sprout and take nurture? See, make sure that the time you invest in your partners. Now, see, to me, I'm getting clear on this thing here a little bit now and I'm able to express myself. Intimacy starts with yourself.
That's a fact.
Oh,
Amen.
yes. Oh,
See, intimacy don't start first with you. So if you ain't being honest with what you want and who you are, you see, I understand that some of the things I say, sometimes I see you shaking your head, yes or no, and that's all right. But I tell you one thing, Mr. Q ain't gonna lie to you about how you feel. That's who I am. And I might change. But that's how I am. That's what I think. And I don't know shit. And I don't know shit.
Don't change that. That's a powerful thing. That's a powerful thing to be able to express yourself. A lot of our community, they don't do that. They're not allowed. You
and I don't mind. Right. I tell brothers, talk, man. Talk that shit out. But pray about it first. Don't sound like no damn fool. Yeah. Yeah. Make sure you done prayed on it and then sought guidance from within and from God within before you start blabbing it on out, you know. Okay, sex, intimacy, and dating. Okay, we kind of covered that. Now I want to talk about something else real quick, y'all. Ladies, we've been on this line for 46 minutes. I can't believe it. That's not even including the 15 minutes we talked.
I was about to say actually an hour.
We're talkers, guys. We're talkers of Benisma. Okay, here you go. Lord. So now I got on there Facebook today and I put up a picture of a black woman and a white man getting married. I'd been listening. One of the sisters here in the community said, Mr. Q, what do you think about Biden putting up the black woman for the Supreme Court? I said, I love it. I think that's great. Awesome. I really don't care. It's cool. I just want to see a sister up there. That'd be great. And then they said, oh, what do you think about the nominees? And then I saw my ignorance. I didn't know who the nominees were. So I went to Wikipedia and I said, who are the nominees that Biden is pretending to be the Superior Court for black women that he said he promised people he would do? And I looked at every single one of them sisters' names, and most of them are married to non-black American men. And those that aren't married, they're either married to non-black men or they're not married. Okay, that's the literally. Please, I will send the link. I'll put the link in the chat. When you look up each of them women names and then you Google them up, because I took the time to do it. And I said, well, that's interesting to me. And so I wrote on the Facebook, I said, well, you know, I understand. And then I guess, you know, I'm the kind of guy that says to each his own. You love who the hell you want to love, be what you want to be. That's fine. But I say now, don't ignore that getting married in America is a political and social economic statement. Okay? They said, Mr. Q, how you gonna say how you gonna judge these women and say and dismiss the education, the brilliance that they have? I said, oh, I ain't dismissing nothing. That's wonderful. I said, I still though prefer, and I says, I think y'all might be surprised how many black American, foundational black American men hold the feeling that I do, that I ain't gonna trust a sister too much, she with no white boy. And I can like her just fine and will support that sister professionally in what she wanna do even. But as far as the Supreme Court goes, and talking about, I'm gonna give black people this favor, by putting this black woman up here. Well, I said, now, y'all fell for this first time, didn't you? They said, what you say about that, Mr. Q? I says, well, when Biden came out and said, I'm going to have me this black woman vice president, we said, bully for you, brother. Go for it, Uncle Joe. Go for it. Now, who he choose? How y'all feel about her now? Married to a white man, had a political record of incarcerating black men at an over-alarming rate. Now, I ain't saying she no bad sister. I don't know. I'm just saying, look at the record. Now, far be it from me to suppose that these esteemed sisters have some type of bias against black men. But I'd be certain that they didn't if they were maybe married to a black man. People say I'm wrong. And I said, you know what I think, y'all? I think that y'all, and these are all white folks too commenting. Only one brother was commenting on it. All white people in my community here, Chef. Mr. Q, that ain't right. Who are you to judge? I said, I ain't judge nobody. I said, but see, y'all always get upset when a black person and a black man, and I'm known for this in this community, doesn't agree with you. You see, you're used to a different kind of brother than I am. I don't want your white women. I don't want what you have. I only want the money that I am owed. We can do business. We can establish relationships that inspire our growth and that enrich us. But I am most concerned about black people. And why does that bother you so much? If you were my friend, you would say I think you would say, man, whatever I can do to help black people, I'm going to do. If you're my friend, instead of why you always trying to make me say, well, no, we all ought to get together. And why should you care who the other person married? I said, the last thing to me, black Americans need to do are make decisions that don't empower black Americans. And so I challenged, what does being married to a white man, how does that enrich black people? A sister wrote me today and she said, my dad is white. It does not take away from my blackness or my mother's blackness. I said, that is wonderful. But let me ask you this. Does it add to your whiteness? Do white people say, well, you ain't like the rest of them niggas, you more white, so we're going to treat you different? I said, do you experience that? But yet and still you want me to say and believe and endorse something that I don't agree with, instead of you saying, well, hell, man, that's the way you feel. I dig it, man. I ain't got to think that way, but that's the way you feel. Man, them white folks mad as hell at me, Chef. I want to know what y'all think.
Well, to tie it into intimacy, like you said about, amputees who lose their relationships because of their amputation. Things will happen in your life, that will show you who's for you and who's not.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to talk about politics and all that, politics is politics. If you're getting married in a political realm, if you're an entertainer, more than likely your marriage is based off of a business standpoint and not necessarily love and connection. So
that's reasonable.
So that's to be honestly expected.
That's reasonable.
I personally don't hold stock in other people's relationships. What you got going on,
I agree.
Going on, I'm not sleeping with them.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's your business.
Yeah,
right. That's your business.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't really bother with that too tough. The whole we lost one, no. Clearly, if that's what you like.
That's what you want to do. Go ahead and do it.
We would never, you know what I'm saying? So
I support your right to do it, and would fight for your right to do it. In fact,
yeah, everybody should be able to do what it is that they want to do. Now, if you want to start talking about DNA and all that stuff, then that gets a little bit different. But just based off of relationships. If you want to dip in other pools, do your thing. That's completely your business.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I personally, you know what I'm saying, like melanated men. I'll say that. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in in black neighborhoods, so
Yeah,
I've been around,
I agree.
this big population. I've been around different, if you in the black community, you got Haitians, you got Africans, you got
Sure.
Jamaican, you know what I'm saying? So everybody got their own little, difference or whatever. So that is my preference. But yeah, do what you do.
What do you think, Bridget?
I totally agree with. She said everything that I was thinking. I
Mhm.
totally agree with you. I don't. It doesn't involve my circle of life.
Right.
I don't care who's licking or sticking or screwing who. I don't care.
When you see a couple like that, or when you see those persons with the potential to be identified as black leaders, I guess, or black thought leaders, black prominent figures in the zeitgeist of black America, though, does it affect your opinions about that sister? Like, if you see that black woman and you say she's married to a white guy and they want her to be on the Superior Court, you don't have a thought about that? Or is that okay with you? What? You don't, that doesn't sway your thoughts on her or something? You know what I mean?
I don't deal with politics too much, and most people really don't like to deal with politics because it's very controversial and people are real serious about that. You might as well be talking about somebody's mama when you're talking about their politics. Yeah.
I hear you. Some people are very defensive about it.
My thing is, everybody's journey is their journey, and I can't knock nobody honestly for doing what they feel that they need to do to achieve what it is that they're trying to achieve. Politics is like, I don't do politics. Like I've said this on the other
Yeah.
platforms we've been on. I'm trying to buy an island and do my own thing and live off the land and all that. I'm not into what folks got, got going on, because at the end of the day, I feel like this country is not a country, it's a corporation, it's a business, and business runs the way they're supposed to. Their money, and do what they think. So that's what I feel. So
I definitely agree with that. This is definitely a business. What do you say about it, Shay?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like date who you want, just don't blame black women or black men for your reasons. So it's like, oh, I don't date white because I can't men because I can't, black men are this. So I don't like that. And my other issue is when it comes to dating, when it comes to the white person, if you truly love that black person, I honestly believe that you should also stand for what they need as well. Like, like if we're getting in the streets, I want to see you out there marching. I want to see you out there being a part of the movement as well, because if you love that black person, then you need to love black people as well. I don't want it to be just limited to that, because sometimes people tend to fetishize being in a situation like, it's like a freak thing. But if you sleeping with that person and you're married, you gotta love them, and who connected to. They got a black family. They eat soul food on Thanksgiving, and they got a cousin that's probably getting shot in the streets or being profiled or whatever. So be a part of the family for real. You know what I mean? It's not all about the sex thing or I got this on my arm. It's more than the shallowness and the vein. It's about being connected with that person. Like you say, intimacy. You have to really become one with that person.
What do you think, Chef?
So that's my thing.
What do you say, Chef?
You can love whoever. It is what it is. As long as it's not affecting you and your household or what you got going on, it shouldn't matter.
But now, a woman like that, her decisions, if put on the Supreme Court, does affect our household. It does affect the course of the country for the next 30 years, because they're going to make decisions that directly impact the lives of black people. So
Okay.
it
Well, then
matters
judge
to
her
me
by
who she's sleeping with and who she decides to build a family with. That matters to me. And I don't know if that's right or wrong. That's just where I am. That
yeah,
matters to me.
you have to judge a woman by her actions. Just because she's sleeping with a white man doesn't mean she necessarily
Yeah.
has the same views as a white man. She probably
That-
worked her ass off to get up
Well,
there.
she
To
would have to
prove
have the same views, you would
You
think.
never know why she got. You never know her journey to the Supreme Court. Just because she got with that white man, it may have gotten her some extra loops. But until she's in there and we see her actions, I feel like that shouldn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
She could be a pawn. She could be somebody that has to, somebody that has to make the decision based on what they tell her to. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, she's just a black face at the end of the day. When it comes to making decisions, her daddy in some place which that's going to say, listen, we need to, make this, because I just find it funny how when a Supreme Court judge all of a sudden he wants to bring a black woman in there, and if she says, oh, I'm voting for mandations, she's getting that from someplace else. So I mean, I believe that it's not really who they put in there, it's about who subscribes to what they're telling you. She has no power. That's how I feel.
Right. What the agenda is.
Yeah, she's a part of the agenda. She's going to agree to it.
Yeah. Well, what I always find fascinating, especially in my region, when I post things like this on Facebook and all, only 2 black guys questioned my position on the matter in that stream of posts. Only 2. One gentleman, a man who I respect greatly, Stephen Bates. He was a football star at our school, and actually he did go on to play professionally. A good man. I mean, he's a solid brother. And he does not hold the position that I do. He does not feel that should be something considered in the appointment of whomever of these women he appoints. Another brother, I went to his site, and he's a local brother here, and I'm looking at his site and all, and I ain't got nothing against you, man. You take pictures who the hell you want. And I know a lot of different folks in this town. And I says, okay, I see, brother. I see your position. Let me put it that way. And I just think that a lot of people, at least in my community, man, they really don't like it when a black person doesn't hold the political or social perspective that they're touting. They really are offended by it. And they couldn't. I says, just tell me where I'm wrong at. I says, I do believe that in a significant number of cases of interracial relationships, there could be traces of fetishization, disconnection with culture on either one's part. To me, those are sicknesses, man. They have to be dealt with. And you can't tell me, man, that you just gonna sleep with someone. Y'all talking about intimacy and all, and people knowing each other and stuff, right? Man, I don't know, man. That don't add up to me. But hey, I'm just me, and I just got my opinions, and I don't see it no other way yet. I don't see it no other way. And I would say, they asked me, so are you saying, Mr. Q, that you're less excited about the appointment if he resigns himself to this list of candidates? I says, yeah, these wouldn't be my first choices, but I will support a black woman because she's a black woman. And I will just hope that any type of laws that affect black people in this country for the next, generation, we will see the benefits of it for black Americans, and that will be demonstrated in the mandate. I said, that's what I'd hope for. But I say, yeah, I'm just tired of us saying, okay, yeah, so what, they went to Princeton or Yale. I don't give a fuck, honestly, bro. I'd rather know a girl that she went to Spelman and her mom and dad worked at the post office. I know her. She know me. I might be her cousin. Kamala Harris don't know me. Or if she do, she act like she don't.
sounds like Mr. Q, you want something that you're more than likely are not going to get, and you're trying and I get it. I totally
Yeah,
understand.
it's not going to happen that way. Yeah.
Yeah. So, which is why I don't do politics. You can't change a system that's working the way.
That's right. That's right. They winning. So why they ain't no benefit for them to change? But see, what I feel is this: it's important to point out to people that consider themselves all these progressive thinkers and all, how you might want to think about some of the ideas that you hold. And I was talking to a white buddy of mine about that today. He's real, real hippy dippy kind of guy and all that. And I says, man, you got a lot of racist shit in you, brother. And you don't even know it.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why do you feel it's important to see that?
Because that's living in truth. And I want every human being to live in truth.
Whose truth?
There's only one truth. There's only one divine creator. That truth is manifested in many ways, but there's only one truth.
Well, truth honestly is a subjective thing. See how everyone sees life through their lens. What's true for you is not true for me. It's not true for Chef T. It's not true for Miss Shay, and not true for Miss Bridget. Everyone has different truths. Now, there are things that are just reality, like it is a fact that we all breathe oxygen as human beings. We breathe oxygen. We get that oxygen from trees. I don't care what your creed is, where you were born, or none of that. We all have that in common. But the way you see spirituality is different. The way I see spirituality and she sees differently. And we all have our own truths. So you really you don't get to dictate how other people see their life. If this person feels like they're not racist and they're in their world, they're not racist. See, in their life, that's normal for them. Most racist people don't feel like they're racist because that's just life for them. That's how they grew up. That's how they see, us or whoever. To them, that's not racist. That's what is. So it affects you differently. See, in your world, it's racist from your perspective.
Well, I don't really believe in racism, honestly, but I mean, I just use terms that are in our zeitgeist so that people understand what I am trying to communicate. I don't really believe in racism, honestly.
Well, I can dig it, but I'm just saying for the sake of the argument.
Yeah.
Everyone has, their reality. So you shouldn't really waste your energy trying to.
I agree. That's what I was telling my buddy. That's what I was telling him. I says, yeah, go and pray on it, man. It'll dawn on you. I says,
do your thing.
Yeah, do your thing, man. It's cool.
No, I'm talking about you. Absolutely, speak your truth and how you feel about things, which you have no problem doing. So absolutely doing that. But everyone else honestly has the right to do the same. So it just is what it is. You just kind of gotta, worry about what you got going on in your circle and make that happen. Because I am one of the most Sister Soldier, Harriet Tubman people, in the world. I have no issues with white people.
Me either. Yep.
White people love me. And I walk around, and I live in Macon, Georgia. So depending on what side of town you are and what county you in, it can be your problem.
I hear you.
But I walk these streets, one arm and all, afro, hips, black fists and all that, but they don't bother me because I just exude a certain energy. I'm not bothering you. I'm over here chilling in my melanin. I ain't bothering you. You stay over there with what you got going on. So it's like, I don't invite that, to me. And not to say that there aren't racist people. It's not to say
I'm sure that there are, right. I just never interact. It don't cross my door. I don't see it. I don't, it never comes in my world. Not that I don't believe that people feel that way. I'm sure they do.
Go out looking for it and you are.
It might find you, right.
Absolutely. So,
right. Yeah. I was talking to one of my buddy, Hollywood writer, and I was looking at one of his shows. Yeah, man, check out my show. You're going to love it. I look at the show, and I ain't seen no black people in it. I said, brother. He ain't no brother. He's a white guy. He's a brother. I said, brother, tell me something. I want you to be honest with me now. It's all right, man, brother. What's up? I said, so when you're in the writer's room and you look around and you don't see no black people there, do y'all ever say, man, this shit ain't right? Do y'all ever say that? He says, I've never been in a room where that was said. I said, I thought so. Huh, interesting. I said, your script demonstrates that. It don't even come in your mind. I dig it. I see. I ain't mad at you. I just like to call things as they are. Because I think like, a lot of white people think you don't see shit.
You feel, but you feel some type of way about that, though.
Huh?
You feel some way about that, though. That bothers you a bit because.
Oh, it does. It bothers me. But I say create our own. I say create our own. Oh, and it inspires me. It inspires me to create, to do our own shit, to have our own thing, to have our own standard. Huh?
So why give you so much energy?
I think too many things have gone unsaid for too long.
I think
and if they never heard it, at least I want them to know they heard it from Mr. Q. They heard it from me. So you can't say you ain't never heard it. You can't never say, oh, I ain't never know that was a thing. No, because I remember Mr. Q one time fucking said something like that. So now you can't use ignorance as your defense. Don't give them no time to be able to defend their ignorance because there's too much information out in the world. And if you really want this world to change, then you will be conscious and you will start to see reality. And I said to them, I said, ain't y'all curious how in these chats, when we get in these discussions on the Facebook, how very few black men disagree? They'll never say, well, man, he's totally fucking off here. I says, that don't mean anything to you, does it? That doesn't mean that, well, shit, maybe the position that I have should be considered. I ain't say you got to say, well, man, I'm wrong. I'm telling you what I'm recognizing is that, man, a lot of people are walking around dead in their brains, thinking that they're doing right. And Sister Plum, I don't know, man. I think if you think you have a way, you should share it through action, not necessarily through words, through action, your levels of understanding.
I agree with you. I just feel like there's a way to do that. Like, for instance, when I first started my platform, I named it Amspiration TTV because I'm an amputee. But prior to that, you know, I got into consciousness when my mom changed her relationship. So at that time, I was learning about being proud of being black, very pro-black, this, that, third. Even as even in high school, I made certain decisions based off thinking that, well, this is not black enough, so I shouldn't do this, so I'm not supposed to like this because it's not black.
Oh, interesting. Okay. We'll talk about that another time. Yeah.
Yeah, got you. But now that I'm older, and like I said, most of my earlier YouTube videos, are about specific things that come to deal with the black community. But as I've grown spiritually, and not to say that I'm not here, for my peoples and all that, because like I said, that's who I am. But I'm also understanding that there's different levels. Because you have the black community and all that, but we're also human beings. You know what I'm saying? And I just take people for who they are, and I understand the why. If you want to go back historically on why people,
I was about to say, because some people are going to argue with you on that point that we're all human beings. I'm just playing with you.
No, you're good. But I don't take offense to how people feel. If you hate me, that's not my business.
Yeah, that's your thing. Right.
You see what I'm saying? I can't dictate what you were taught, because most of this is taught behavior. When you're born, you're not born prejudiced. You're not born having feelings about other people and races and all that. That's taught. So it's like, why am I going to continuously get upset about things that was taught to an individual? It's honestly not a choice. You know what I'm saying? You do it now. Of course, when you get older, you can change, you can educate yourself and all of that. But I know human beings. I'm a realist. And yeah, everything should be a certain way, but what I take things for what is. And 90% of people, you know what I'm saying, act the way they were taught. You know what I'm saying? Especially once they get a certain age. You know what I mean? Once you're set in your ways, you know what I'm saying, it's hard to change those things. So I don't bother with that. You just don't need to be around me. As long as you don't do anything to me personally, I don't, you know what I'm saying? You do that over there. A lot of the establishments that I walk into, I'm sure the owners of them don't like, more than likely, don't like melanated people. You know what I'm saying? But unless I have an experience with you, I'm not going to bother. But if I do, then I'll take an extra stance. I'll give you an example. There's a restaurant out here that I used to go to. I only eat seafood as a protein, so it's really hard for me to find places to eat. So I would go there a lot, get me a drink, get my food. I came one night with some friends of mine, and the owner was extremely racist to us. He was very rude, very disrespectful. And at first, I didn't know he was the owner. I was trying to find out who he was, but when I found out that's who he was,
And
I
he
know.
knew who you were.
No,
he
he
knew
didn't
you.
know me.
Okay,
No,
okay.
no, he
All
didn't know me at all.
Okay,
And
all
that's the thing. See, he didn't know. I used to come in during the daytime.
Right, okay.
And
Yeah.
so me and the bartenders, we all cool. They're all white.
They
But
know
we
you,
all
yeah.
good. But they know who I am. I come through, sit at the bar, talk to them, all that good stuff. But I came at night this time. So he doesn't know that I've, been patronizing his business, you know what I'm saying, for the past 6 months on a regular basis. He doesn't know that.
Right.
He just saw me as, or me and my
Yeah.
guests, who we were. So I don't go to that restaurant anymore. I can be starving, stomach growling.
I hear you, but you ain't going there.
I'm not going to go to that store.
Did they ask you, did the other people ask you, hey, why you still come in no more?
I don't see them.
You don't see,
I
okay. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah.
go by the
Okay,
rest
yeah,
of
yeah.
them, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, no, I dig it. Yeah. I've
So-
never, I ain't never had no experience like that, ladies. I would tell you the truth if it was. I ain't never had nothing like that. I ain't never said.
Well, see, that's what I mean. So once in a while it
I
happens.
did, and
so
it wasn't
I
even.
deal with it.
What you say, Shay? What you say, Shay?
I did. It wasn't even a white. I said I did. It wasn't a white establishment. It was actually it was a Muslim, and if you and your head is not covered, not directly, they will wait everybody come in there
and leave you last.
They'll put their Muslims first, and they will not even look at you. They will not acknowledge you. Huh? So I didn't buy anything. I left, but I noticed that when I patronize, you have to go in there. Your head covered, and you got to kind of have a demeanor that So that's and I don't want to say it's racist, but I believe it's just that they just don't like anybody non-Muslim.
Well, I'll say this: if somebody's store or somebody's establishment, something like that, I feel like if they have a certain rules, I'll
follow it. Yeah, that's how I am too.
Just like with COVID.
Yeah, that's how I am.
Mask thing, I'm not really big on the mask unless I have to. If I need to go into the store and I need to get something,
I'm gonna put my mask on.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Right.
I'm not going to just say, oh well, I have to go and I don't have to shop at your store. I don't have to spend my money.
That's right. And I have to, and to me,
that's what it is. Because I want
it's saying, hey, I respect you, run your business the way you want it to run.
Right.
That's and I have a choice.
And they might not like anybody. They very well might not like people. So that's why they have all these restricted rules. So to put you in a place where you don't want to shop at their store, and that's cool.
Sure.
But if I need something from you, I don't mind covering my head or doing. I don't mind respecting other people's situations. That doesn't do anything for what I got going on. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's just how I see things. So I don't. I try really hard not to take things, you know what I'm saying, personally all the time, because I've seen other people go through things. Like I've seen Muslims, the nicest people. And they, you know what I'm saying, Black people, do the most fucked up things to them because they feel like they're foreigners. Because I'm from New York. I grew up in Queens. So, like your Asians who, in the nail salon, there's a lot of talk about, what goes on with them and how disrespectful they are to in our communities. But I grew up watching teenagers, try to beat them up and, run out on them after doing a whole full set and their toes and all that $100 situation and just run out. You know what I'm saying? And try to strong arm them because they feel like they're
I've never seen that kind of shit.
and
Yeah,
that's what see,
right.
I grew up watching that.
I hear
I
you.
grew
I
up
hear
watching
you.
people doing
And these
that.
are black Muslims against just regular black people,
No,
and the black
these are-
people didn't like them.
No,
These
no,
are
no.
just
There are
black
two.
people.
No, there are two types of Muslims. There are two types of Muslims. There's the Nation of Islam, and then there's the or the
Okay.
Indian.
Oh, see, I'm thinking
East
Nation of
Indian,
Islam. I understand.
Arab.
Okay.
And
Yeah, of
this,
course.
so no, the Nation of Islam. They love black people. They love black money, and they believe that you are actually, if you're black, you're a Muslim. You just don't acknowledge it.
You just
know what I
don't,
mean?
right.
So,
right. That's
but
what
when
I
it comes
thought.
to
Yeah.
the Arabs,
That's why I was a little shocked when you
they
said, what?
already-
No.
they
We
already
call
Okay.
them the Arabs. Yeah, we call them the Arabs.
No.
Oh, okay. I
No.
got you. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yes, we think that. Yeah, because I'm from New York. So what happened is that I do notice that even how they treat their women. So their women already fall in line when it comes to walking behind their man and things in that nature. So me going in there dressed regular at the time was something they were definitely against that.
Haram.
So
That's called haram.
I don't want to say it's racist.
Forbidden. Haram.
It could have been.
Yeah.
Sexism. It could have been either sexism or just pretty much, Muslim, and we're not gonna, your money doesn't matter here. We support each other. So it could be a few things. I didn't take it personal. I just was like, oh, okay, that's how y'all get down. Let me go
Right.
find my halal somewhere else. So that was it.
That's it, yeah.
Ladies, we've been talking for an hour and 21 minutes. And I'm going to get ready for us to say goodnight and thank everyone. I do have one thing. I'm going to be going away praying about this a lot earnestness over the next several days. I am thinking about what has been said here tonight. And when you're thinking about and you're looking at other people or whatever, are you ladies of the mind that if you see somebody doing something wrong, you ladies this is how I'm interpreting it. If you see someone doing something that you perceive as wrong, quote unquote, are you of the mindset more that you shouldn't tell them, hey, that's not right, really? You might want to rethink that. Or do you feel, no, I should just let them go about their path, and if it is wrong, it will manifest itself to them?
It depends.
See, because I'm more of
depends on the age
the first one
depends
all
on
the
the
time. Okay, I hear you.
The situation,
I hear you.
the person, your
I
relationship.
hear you.
It depends
Yeah,
on the
your
age.
relationship, right? Yeah, I understand that.
That's
And
why
to
I
what
got-
degree? And
Well,
to what
that's my
degree?
I talk about
You can't
certain
tell
things.
grown folks nothing.
Yeah, you definitely can. It's really hard. So that's why I got a platform. So I talk about certain things that I talk to my friends about, or even things that I've argued with my mama about. So I express myself on my platform, and they can take it or leave it. They cannot watch it. They can't
Right, or
watch
not
it,
watch it, right? Right.
or whatever. But that's how I do that, because that's been one of my struggles with my path. Finding that balance with, telling people, because if I love you and I care about you and you're in my circle, I'm 1,000% gonna tell you if you're doing something you ain't got no business. Now, I'm not gonna talk to you like I'm your mom's and whatnot, but
Right, no, right.
You know what
I
I'm
talk to
saying?
you're a human being. I love. You know what,
Yeah.
There ain't too many people I don't love. In fact, I can hardly think of anybody I don't love. That might sound weird.
no,
But that's how I feel. I can't think of one person I don't love. I just love so many people, and it expresses itself in different ways, of course. But I have a feeling of love for all peoples on the earth. I want the best for everyone. Yeah, I want the best for everyone. I do believe that the best comes in a black wrapper, though. I don't know if that's bad or not. Hey, that's how I feel. There you go. All right. Everyone plug something. How can people find you on social media, Shay? I'll let you go first. We'll work counterclockwise.
Okay. Shay Besties on Instagram. I'm on Besties with Shay on Facebook. Hey Besties with Shay on YouTube. I'm also Hey Besties with Shay on Spotify. Pretty much that. I'm working on the things, but if you follow me, you'll definitely be in the loop on the next thing that I'm working on. So, but thank
Say
you
that
all. It
again.
was a pleasure being in your space. I appreciate it.
Can you say that?
Repeat it one more time
What you
for
say?
him.
Repeat. I'm trying to follow you right now. Well,
Oh, my social media.
yeah, your IG.
Oh, on Instagram, I'm Shay Besties. And all my other links are on Shay Besties anyway. So
Shay Besties.
Yeah, if you
and I'm
find me
going to
on
put all this
Instagram
in our
and
show
DM
notes
me,
too,
I will-
guys. I'm going to put all the links in the
and
show
I'm on
notes as well,
Spotify,
ladies, just to let you know.
YouTube. and-
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Miss Bridget.
Okay, and I'll send you everything.
Oh.
Thank you so much, and I'll make sure
Absolutely.
you all back.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Miss Bridget.
I'm sorry, I was putting in her info.
Uh-huh. You
Okay.
tell us how we can get to you.
I'm just Bridget Garza on
Okay.
Facebook and Bridget Garza 217 on Instagram. That's about it.
And is there anything else you want to promote at all, Miss Garza?
No, I don't have anything to promote.
All right, sister. Sister,
you
I
so
love
much.
having you on the show. Please come back often. And
Thank you so much, guys.
there's a
Y'all
lot
were-
that I want to talk to you about. Yes.
Y'all are amazing to listen to. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
How do you spell your last name, love?
Mine,
Mm-hmm.
Garza.
Garza.
Yes, ma'am.
Bridget Garza Herrera.
No, just Bridget Garza.
Just Bridget. I
Yes.
see. All right.
Thank you so
Sister
much,
Queen.
guys.
Yes. Well, you can find me on Facebook as Amp Spire Media Houston. You can find me on IG on 9 Plump
Just
9
warm your fingers.
9. You can find me on Twitter at Ampspire Media. You can find me on TikTok as Spiritual Amputee. I am launching Ampspire Media Network as a streaming channel on Roku TV in April. So please look out for that. Any content creators, podcasters, and anybody that would like, to be streaming on Roku, hit me up. Also, any businesses that would like to advertise their business on television as well, you can hit me up for that. I'm doing a lot. I've just been trying to get really cool with not really cool, but, get more into the amputee community because I've kind of been living this life just as a regular person. So now I am getting more into the community. So I am developing different services, to help us in all different facets, emotionally, physically, so that's really what my purpose is. So I'm just finding all avenues to be able to do that. So just check me out.
Amen. And I wanted to say just quickly, I love your ensemble, Sister Queen, tonight. It's beautiful. I love it. It's
Well,
nice.
you said we was talking about sex and
Oh, so you sauced it up for us. Nice. I love it. I love it. You look great, lady. You look great. Yeah. Sister Chef.
You can find me on Facebook at Janae Edwards. You can find me on Instagram at edwards.tiana. And you can find me on Snapchat at OctoberStar190. That's where I do most of my cooking and just being me. I'm also like Miss Queen. I'm new to the amputee world with meeting new amputees. So this is great. You can also find me here on this podcast.
Yeah, that's right. Every week, every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And instead of me getting all the information, just follow me at heismrq.com. He is Mr. Q. You'll find everything else you need to know about me. So again, I just want to thank all you ladies for joining me. And I didn't even recognize it, but next time we do this, I'm gonna have a guy talking. Ooh, and I didn't even get to our trivia questions. Sister Chef, I got them 2,000 Black History trivia questions, sister. I bought the book. Yeah. So we got a whole lot of questions. And before the month is over, we're going to be doing some giveaways and a trivia. So I just got to get the people together to do it. So, make a little game of it and stuff, make it fun. So that's it for the show. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Take care. Be good. Please feel free to write us at ampleamputeepodcast@gmail.com and share your thoughts. And remember, this is a space where we want to hear you. All right. So we'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Peace.
Bye, everyone. Nice meeting you.
Good night. Thank you. Nice meeting
I'll be
everybody.
connecting with everybody. Yeah, I'll be connecting with everybody in a little while. All right.